So, in my opinion, I think that Rocket League content has become just brain rot almost. It would be normal a few years ago to see someone just literally just playing the game with their face cam or just their audio and that's it. But now it seems that every single day there's a new upload with a saturated thumbnail, exaggerated face on the thumbnail that's saying, I put 4 platinums against like 1 SSL. And I am playing live right now, just on the Rocket League. So, but, this whole thing of like this content of like, just, yo, look, I put this many guys versus SSL. I think that kind of removes the fun from the game, like from watching the videos. It could just be me, realistically. Nice, I won that 50. But it could low-key just be me, liking more content that is more like, you build like some sort of like relationship with the actual like channel or like person, YouTuber, I guess. I think that with those type of content where it's like really fast paced, the saturated thumbnail, the guy going like that on the first. I don't know. I think it's just very, just not like I don't know what the word for it. I just think that it's not it. You know, I think for me, I personally prefer like building that like parasocial relationship, if you know what I mean by that. Like, you know, I think like why would you like watch someone play a video game and not play it yourself? There has to be some type of redeeming factor. And I honestly think that like Rocket League content is soon not actually going to get many views. You know, I don't know. I think that right now we're kind of at like a tip point where it's like I think there's going to be two splits of like creators. Oh, is that in? No, it's not. There's going to be one who is like, no editing, like a video like this one. And then there's going to be another one that is like very fast-paced editing, YouTube shorts, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I think that's what's going to happen. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. Oh, I double committed pretty hard there. I think, and another thing about like just having these like types of Rocket League videos and not just like literally someone playing the game and telling you what their thoughts on about their day or about some strategy or whatever the case is I think it creates like kind of like a almost like an addiction of like an internet like kind of like there's something about just literally just playing the game. Oh, that's a nice flick. But literally there's something just about playing the game and that's it. There's something special about that. And I think where you hyper edit it and get rid of all these like core moments. I think sorry, I'm losing my voice here. But I think you're like ruining the overall game from just doing that. Now, of course, this is just my opinion, and if this message kind of like resonates with you and you kind of agree, almost got demoed there, by the way. Like if you agree with what I'm saying, I mean, I guess you can support me if you want. If you want to, smash likes, smash subscribe. I guess you can, but like I think that right now there's just an abundance of creators, big and small, who are trying to like do that like hyper edited video type and like I don't know. Right now, I'm at 12 subscribers, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's in my net, yeah. But right now, I am going to predict that a lot of more people who actually like play Rocket League are going to want more of a actual connection with the YouTuber. I think we're kind of at this like tipping point where people don't really care about the actual content and they're just going to watch for the creator, as long as it's not like, like I said, like a brain rot video. So I think generally you could play like a, oh, that's a bad hit by me, nice save. Like, I think you could literally just play a random game like this, record your face, record on whatever you want to speak about, and it will get some traction eventually if you just continue long enough. But right now, like I said, I'm only at 12 subs, so of course I'm not that big, but we'll see where it takes us. And another thing about, just on this content thing is that it feels so forced. Like, you know, me just playing this game right here, you know, like this doesn't feel forced. I don't know if you, I think you can obviously tell. You're probably an intelligent person, but you can tell that like this isn't, you know, forced to do. You know, I'm not like using those exaggerated like reactions that like get what clips, like, you know, clip farming it's called or whatever. You know, it's relaxing. You know, you don't have I'm not doing this as like an act. I'm literally just presenting who I am and presenting my overall opinions and thoughts on the game or whatever topic I talk about that time, or that video I should say, sorry. Like it doesn't really like, oh that's in my, oh no, it's not in my net. Like I don't think it really matters like what you actually talk about, because like, you know, if we look at like Rocket League content, right? From people who, you know, make the exaggerated thumbnails, the over the top reactions. I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily. I think yeah, you get excited for the game, no problem. But there's a point where you know it's being fake. You know it's a point where it's being forced, right? And I think that's the problem. Oh, I messed up really bad there. And I think that low key is like the problem, where it's like you can tell that it's being so forced for whatever it's for, like views or just a clip farm or whatever the case might be. I think that's where the real concern of this problem actually begins, is like how far will it go? Because like, you know, with like YouTube Shorts, Instagram and stuff, like, you know, it's not like the worst, I gotta say. I think the absolute worst is like the long form YouTube content, because it's very repetitive, you know, and repetition isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in my opinion, if it's like something like brain rot, I just don't, I don't know, I don't see it, you know, but that's just my opinion. So the game's about to end, but it, once again, if you want to kind of like support, if this message resonated with you at any all, and low key just, yeah, you're like, yeah, you know, Rocket League content has like kind of like, you know, I don't know, if you maybe when you were like 5 years old or something, I don't know, 6 years old, maybe you watch like some Minecraft playthrough and you kind of liked it with no editing. This is kind of like the same thing I'm doing here. So if you like that, consider dropping a follow, of course. So that is it of the video. Smash like, I guess. Goodbye.